all-in-one tools to be able to use for so many different options. Bandanas have been a part of survival for a long time, and it's standard equipment for Boy Scouts. And I remember in the old westerns, the cavalry always had yellow bandanas around their necks, and I've always loved seeing that. Of course, also in westerns, you have the bad guys using bandanas to hide their identity. But we're going to look at some things about a useful purpose for bandanas, and there are so many. We're going to go through and demonstrate about 20 ways to use a bandana, and so hopefully this will help get you kind of thinking. And of course, in the comments below, please leave your uses that may not be in this video, or you can reinforce the uses. Hanging loosely around your neck just to keep perspiration down. Also, tuck it in to get cool. Can really warm things up. Keeps the wind out, keeps water and everything else out. Also, keeping the sun off your neck kind of keeps you from being a redneck. If you have a pack and your strap breaks, you can use it as an improvised strap. That'll get you home. Make it into a little pouch. Be able to hold items. Very similar to the old hobo pouch. Or if you have a bag, you can strap it on to your bag, even in molly webbing. Hold items just right. In a real survival situation, you can even use this for a signaling device. Go ahead, you can even see it from aircraft. If you go in three, and that way they'll know you're just not trying to air out your underwear. And of course, again, with this bandana, there's a ton of different information on here to be able to use. So if you want to be seen, this is a great one to have. If you don't want to be seen, you need to throw this one in your pack. Of course, you can turn it around and use it as an ascot, and then head up to the country club. Of course, making this a head cover, even in rain, wintry conditions, you lose most of your body heat out of the top of your head. And if you don't have a hat, you can put this on, cover your head. And then if you have your Harley nearby, you'll fit right in. Also be a protection against smoke and dust, debris, whatever's happening. Of course, one thing about cotton, you're going to be able to burn it. And you can use this for fire tinder. You can cut it up in little pieces, get your fire started. Then you could actually use this for smoke signals if you're an Indian. I'm only an 8th Cherokee, and even if it's a small fire can be very comforting in the wilderness, especially if you're lost. Then you have your bandana, you can set it right here, and you can just relax. Or if the smoke starts bothering you, you can cover your face. Of course, wearing one around your head will keep the rain off. It's raining pretty heavily, and it'll just keep that rain from going into your face. And then you have one to wipe off to keep the rain off. And of course, also, you can use that to wipe off your face if you get dirty or you get into a bind, get muddy. You've got a good washcloth. You can dip this in water. Your head cool. Also, again, uses a rag. Uses cleaning. A lot of different purposes. Also, you can use it as a dew collector, keeping valuable gear and equipment clean. You can also use this to cut small gun patches to suit whatever caliber you're using. Also, if you want to hide your identity. Also be used to mark a trail. Of course, the best thing would be is to cut this in strips and place it along as you go along. This blue color would really help. For cell phone coverage, GPS, sometimes you can lose a signal. With this little map, it lays it out. It's according to where you are. But if you're in the Great Smoky Mountains, this would be a great thing to have in your pack. Plus, because there's typically a lot of water and moisture when you're out, especially in more temperate climates, these can get wet and they're not going to tear up like paper would. If you're using your knife for food preparation, you can wipe it off, keep it clean. Of course, you can blow your nose, or you can use it for toilet paper, one-time use. Also, you can tie this around your pants leg, around your boot. It keeps insects out, it actually will keep you a little warmer, and it just cinches up your pants. Makes it easier to go through the woods as well. Also, if your bootlace fails, you can wrap this around, and it'll go twice according to your size. It's gonna get you home. You can also lay this out Sit it on the ground. A little bit of insulation, but it also keeps your pants from getting dirty. Oops, too late. Or if you want to use this as a tablecloth to lay your food out. Of course, bandanas have been used for years for head wounds, for eye wounds, also for wounds to the body. Also be used as a makeshift splint to be able to support your arm or your leg. Also for a makeshift tourniquet. And so on. Also, if you're on the road and you have a hose leak, you can tie it up, including on a battery post. I mean, there's some different things you can do, especially with some of your big radiator hoses, that could really come in handy. Of course, that's a pretty temporary fix, but it is something you can use. Now, there's a whole slew of different kind of bandanas. I mean, you can go with your standard pattern, with the paisley type pattern. I like this one's particularly because it's kind of subdued. It's almost a camouflage. It's not a totally different color scheme than this ACU. But I wear this around my neck. It keeps me cool in the summer, and it keeps me a little warmer in the winter, just around my neck. And a lot of times you'll see me in videos with one. But it's also just a great purposeful tool. Now, I had a number of bandanas already in different packs and put together with different kits. But the other day I stopped by Going Gear down in Atlanta, and I was down there doing some stuff in Atlanta. I always want to stop by Going Gear, and they had a nice selection of cotton bandanas. So first thing I would say is not necessarily getting the poly blends, which this is a poly blend, but getting something that would be more like made of 100% cotton. And what you can do with cotton, of course, is cotton breathes. It's very comfortable, but it also gets really wet. And that's one of the things I like a little bit more about the poly blend, but there's a lot more versatility with the cotton. It's a little bit better made, and typically a little bit heavier. Of course, having a good color, a bright color, and this is a great signaling bandana, but this also has information on it. This is the Liberty Mountain Survival Bandana, and it not only serves all the purposes of a regular bandana, but it also has information all over it about survival, whether it's knot tying, it could be footprints for different animals, and then just a slew of other things that you can use. While I typically don't wear an orange bandana unless I'm going somewhere like I'm hiking and I want to be kind of noticed, just seen, especially if you're in an area where there's hunting going on, it's really good to have a very bright, vibrant color. Of course, this blue is also nice, and this has more of your knot tying. So you can also use this as a general purpose tool, and it just makes it really nice to make two in one. Now here's one that actually serves as a map, and this is the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which is in my area. In fact, I lived about 3 minutes from the Smoky Mountain National Park when I was in North Carolina, and I still visit that area a lot. And it just gives you an extra added advantage of having something like this. Of course, you can use this for all the same purposes as you can a regular bandana. These come in about a bazillion different camouflage patterns. I have some other camouflage patterns that I use, especially if I'm doing tactical classes where it's getting hot or cold or rainy, and being able to keep the rain off your face, tying this down. But this also serves a lot of the same purposes as a shamag, and that is one thing that I definitely would highly recommend is a good shamag. I don't have one here during this demonstration, but you've seen them, and those are being used a lot over in the Middle East. Now, there are also similar items that are really closely related to the bandana, and this is the Cool Dana, and this is from Zanny, and you actually wet this, and there are nodules in here that really keep you cool during the summertime. And you can also use like this Zanny 3-in-1 lined fleece that can be a skull cap, a headband, or a face mask. So this does fit a lot of the ways that you use your bandana, but this gives you some extra warmth with the fleece material inside and comfort. Now, add a good bandana to your survival kit. And again, you want to get really better quality than you see at a lot of the discount stores. I know at Walmart they have them. They're really cheap, nylon. They do have purposes and you can use them. But get a good 100% cotton, but also some of the specialty bandanas like this survival bandana by Liberty Mountain. And of course, goinggear.com, you can check them out there, or if you have a really fine retailer in your area. But make sure if you do order from Going Gear, use Suit00 and the coupon code